And I'm just like, no, I have the proof to prove it, honey. Okay. Okay. I'm so upset about this. I can't even see myself. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the video. It is Deja and I am back with another video, honey. What's good? What's poppin'? Today I'm here with two beautiful ladies. They're going to introduce themselves, but today we're going to be answering them or asking them some questions, and they're going to be answering for you guys. So, if you guys want to introduce yourself, you can.
I'm Lex. I am obviously a Delta. I crossed fall 18 at Illinois State University, Theta Delta chapter.
I thought you were going to say something else. I'm Marsha, y'all. Hey, I'm obviously a shooter. Sitting on the road. I crossed fall 18, Zeta new chapter, that's at NIU.
Period. Okay, so I'm going to be answering, or I keep answering. I'm going to be asking you guys some questions, and we can just go, you know, in whatever order you want to. Okay, so the first question is, what are 4 things that made you want to join your organization?
Look, we were just talking about this downstairs.
Yeah, we were talking about this. Okay, so 4 things for me. I would say obviously it was for sure the service. And I have Deltas in my family, including my nana. So I grew up watching that. So it was really like a no-brainer for me. So obviously the service, seeing the sisterhood that came with it, the business, like the networking, the connections you make, not even just from the sorority alone, but even just like the D9 itself. Exactly. A lot of connections are made with that. And 4th thing, it definitely, I think the memories that come with it too.
Absolutely.
Good girl.
I gotta talk her.
Oh, girl.
Hey, come on, house shoes.
You said 4 things. It was definitely the service. I did a lot of community service growing up, starting in elementary school, only because my 8th grade teacher was a Delta. So she took us, like the girls in our class, to like a lot of like community service they did in the city. So that would open my eyes, like, okay, to Greek life a little bit, you know. It wasn't sisterhood, y'all. I don't even like people for real. So that's not one of them. But yeah, it was the service. I want to say, service, the connections and networking, that was really a big thing to me, how you can network in the D9, just the D9 in general. It doesn't have to be your organization specifically. What else? I can't say the same thing she said.
It applies.
Okay, I guess. I mean, she said everything, but I mean, I can talk about the chapter I joined. When I came to NIU, I wasn't really thinking about going Greek at all. I'm just like, cause I transferred in, and I'm like, let me hurry up, get my degree and go, cause like I don't want to be at school for 4+ years, sitting here trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. But like the women on the campus, that she goes, when I first came to school, they was really welcoming. They was really, you know, community service wise, they was doing a lot of stuff on campus that really opened my eyes, and they were really sweet.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Do you feel like Greek life is overrated now? Like currently, do y'all think that's overrated?
I won't say it's overrated, but I ain't gonna lie. I feel like a lot of Greek life became like real lame lately. Like it's a lot of people that join for clout. People who was lambs before, they still lambs with the letters, and then just, you know, I just see a lot of just kind of, especially with like social media too. Social media, I feel like ruined a lot of Greek life. So
yeah,
it's.
Look, overrated. I'm gonna say yes and no, only because I feel like let's just say it. I feel like people be joining just to join something. Like I just be feeling like y'all don't even know the history behind why Greek life started, why pledging started. A lot of people don't know, and Greeks now don't even know who was the first pledge class, the organization that pledged first in the D9. And it's just like, I be listening, I be hearing stuff. Like, I be wanting to ask people certain questions, and they don't be knowing the answers to it, and I be looking slow, like, damn, like, and my profile is not making me right, like, was I supposed to know this information? Like, it's just like, I don't know, and I feel like as well, social media, it just brought a lot of, I don't know, a lot of
fraudulent activity.
Yeah, to like, cause now everything we do in Greek life is not discreet anymore. It's like, it's supposed to be discreet only because, I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know, people be knowing too much information they shouldn't
Way
know.
too much.
Like y'all should not know. You're not even in the D9, why do you know this? Like, how do you know this? Like, I just feel like, I don't know, it's different now in the age of time.
Absolutely. Okay. Did you ever want to join another organization? And the only reason why I asked is because, like, y'all know, I know for girls, like, if a girl say, oh, I wanted to be an AK, and then she ended up joining Zeta, and then she says that publicly, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, you couldn't get in this organization, so you settled.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you know
definitely
what I'm
see a lot of that where people are like, oh, she settled.
Exactly. Or like she couldn't get in, so she just joined whatever accepted her. Have you got, not saying that you guys been in that situation, but have you ever, you know, like freshman year, another organization may have sparked your interest or something like that, but then you eventually came to the organization that you're in now and was like, no, this is way better for me. If not, why? And if so, what organization?
So for me, it was kind of like, if I wasn't gonna be a Delta, I wasn't gonna be Greek.
Facts.
And that's just like with me personally. I do have other Greeks in my family. I have 2 cousins that are AKAs, but it was just for me. I just knew I wanted to be a Delta. What was the second part of that question?
And like, well, you said you didn't want to join another organization, so that was perfectly fine. I was just wondering, like, if it was another organization, which one? Because I know for me, it was always AK. Like you said, if it wasn't Delta, then it wasn't no other organization. But I know Kyrie, he had said like, oh, you know, I went to a party and I saw the signals and I was like, oh, Greek life. And then he was like, then I saw the bruh and I'm like, I want to, you know, be alpha, whatever the case may be. So, yeah.
So, for me personally, I have Deltas in my family, and I only have one SG1 in my family. And it's like, I mean, based on what they used to tell me and the way I saw from my own eyes what they did in Greek life, because none of them are active. Only one of my cousins is active, and she crossed fall 17. I was just like, why would I want to be Greek and y'all not even active? Like, y'all don't even do nothing. Like, I mean, y'all have all these problems with y'all, because they call each other LSs in other regions. Illinois, we say ships. So it's like, you know, they LSs and stuff. They used to be like all these problems. So I used to be like, I don't think I want to be Greek. Like, I don't think I want to do it. But when I came to NIU, you know, and I seen all the Greeks, you know, and I was like, okay, let me do a little bit of research. People change their opinions a lot, but you know, like I would never fault anybody for changing their mind or try to embarrass anybody because, you know, maybe they didn't do the right research. Because when you get on campus, you come to school like, I'm finna be an AK, I'm finna do Delta, I'm finna do Zeta, I'm finna do SGO. You get on campus and you meet them girls, and they change your whole outlook on the whole organization. It will ruin everything for you.
Yeah, so there's some people that have had negative experiences with them, and they're like, you know what, nah, I actually, never mind, I'm cool on it. Like, people who have chosen to not go Greek in general because of it, or they ended up deciding to look into another org because a particular incident or run-in with a person, a chapter, and they're like, oh no,
and that's for men too. Like, I don't have a lot of stories with guys, and they was interested in one thing, and they end up doing a whole nother org. So it's,
I know for me, like, I did not have the best experiences with my chapter that I crossed at. But I knew that the organization was bigger than just that one chapter. And a lot of people don't understand that. They'll be like, oh my goodness, well, I'm not going to do it because this person made, like, that person not going to live rent-free in my head. And I knew, like, the goal was to become an AKA. I'm not going to, like, let that stop me because it's sisterhood outside of just this chapter. You know what I'm saying?
You are
for real, because like when I was joining, I was literally so upset because I didn't like anybody on my line. Like, and I'm very public with that on my channel. Like, nobody in that chapter, just because it was just a whole bunch of stuff that I was like, no, we're not here for this. This is not what sisterhood is. And I was just like, after I graduated, I'm just like, well, everybody must be like that. But then as I became more mature and I came across more AKAs, I was like, oh, you're not like this person how I met. So I know the organization is bigger than just what, you know? So
that's even what my Nana like has kind of told me too, where she's like, one thing to always remember is how your chapter is like really just like really a crumb of the whole pie when it comes to it. And that was something that I also thought about too with it.
Thanks. Okay, yeah. Okay, so for girls, because obviously we know everybody does not want to be an AKA. People want to be in different organizations. And I'm just speaking for the AKA aspect on my channel. So the reason why I wanted to bring you guys is because other people want to join Greek Life and they want to be in your organization or your organization. What would you give young girls who want to join your organization, especially when showing interest, especially during this time, you know, with Corona and everything like that? Like, what is your advice? And then can you touch also on how you showed interest when you were going out for your organization?
Okay, so one thing I will say, which I mean everybody will always say, is like do your research, but like honestly, do it. Research is important. Like you really need to do your research. I would say as far as a reaching out aspect, because especially now with like COVID, things are a little different. And I know like for me personally, like especially like with COVID, and then we talked about like social media, kind of be careful with social media. And if you're going to talk to somebody, I would say like also do that discreet. Like, you know, you can like kind of slide in the DMs, but just like, hey, how are you? And then like, can we have like a conversation? Like, you know, kind of, you know, don't force it. Just be relaxed. But yeah, like also always be private with that. Cause I had a girl and I never like, it wasn't one of those where like I didn't get on her ass or nothing about it. But there was actually a girl who tagged me on Twitter one day and said she was interested in Delta, and I immediately was like, take this down. Like, and it's like, I guess some people don't.
People don't be knowing.
Yeah, people don't know that. And that's the other thing that I also had to learn too, is that certain people just really don't know no better. And because of how so much stuff is on social media with Greek Life now, sometimes people
assume that it's okay.
It's okay to just do it. So I was instantly like, take this down, like right now. And you know, and I just kind of gave her the whole like, do your research, look at the national website, follow our chapters pages. That's where we post like everything as far as like with events and things that we're gonna do with that. So yeah, I think that's kind of like the biggest ones, but it's definitely like this is a different age.
Exactly. I feel so bad and a lot of them they don't have people in their life that is in a Greek organization. But I think when that happens, it's like they only see the letters and they don't try to like, you know, go to YouTube or go to you know what I'm saying? Like they don't try to make the relationships genuine either when they try to like come and talk to y'all or come and talk to us like, oh, like, hey, how do I do this or something like that? Like, you know, like I had this one girl, she was just like, I really want to have a mentor that's an AKA, but how do I go about asking her to be my mentor? I'm like, well, you don't know her from Adam, and it could come off like you only want me to be your mentor so I can ensure you a spot in my organization. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you said some good stuff. I was listening. I was like, okay. So one thing I tell people is to do their own research. I have 4 different mentees who I still mentor. One is an alpha. He was actually on your last video with the alphas. My other mentees, none of them want to be an SGO. None of them. And I don't have a problem with that. So I'll be telling them like, do y'all research. Research all the organizations. Because you may think like, I want to do this. Like I said earlier about, when I was telling you about my experiences. The way they stole. You like the way they stole, but do you know their history? Do you know
what they stand
for? Do you know like what they do? The charter history of the chapter that you're trying to, you know, you're interested in. Right. Make sure you do that research and follow up. And then one thing I'll tell a lot of people is that don't be overly thirsty. Especially if like you being too thirsty, like they'll irritate them. Like I know my Neo's got this going on. Like it's this one girl, she just thirsty. She's always coming up to them. It's COVID girl, like relax, like 6 feet, baby. like she always saying something. Like we know you're interested. Like it's not that serious. Like we know, we see you. You know, I mean, you know, people say D9 don't recruit. now they say that nowadays, but in a way we kind of do. In my opinion, I feel like in a way we kind of do. Because we'll come to you, we'll ask you to come to like a study session. We'll ask you, or we'll send you like, here, this is the flyer, because I know some orgs do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't be overly thirsty. Just be, chill with it. They know you interested. You told one person in the chapter.
It's gonna get back. It's gonna get back to everybody.
Everybody gonna know.
Everybody gonna know. So it's like, other than do your research and, not being overly too thirsty. And make sure you go into like the events and stuff. With COVID, everything is virtual. It's not that hard. Sign up, log in, make yourself look presentable.
Exactly.
At all times.
They ain't gonna let ask for your bottles.
Yeah. Presentable. And watch what y'all put on social media, because y'all be wild sometimes. I mean, I do, but I'm in my org. I'm in my org now, so I can do that.
I'm about to say, I'll give you a little wild on social media from time to time, but it's like, there are certain things where I have seen from like girls who I know their interests, and it was just like, one, I would have never posted this when I was an interest, but also, and I'm like, would I post this now? Or even it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of like,
yeah. Okay, how do you guys feel about white people or people who are not black joining your organization?
Yeah, Marche.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay, so this one is kind of it's a funny one for me. One, I have a white profile.
Got you.
She's spring tan. She's actually one of my favorite profiles.
Really?
Like, she's just she's honestly one of my favorite people, just across the board. Not even on like just Delta wise, just across the board. Like, she's very she's just really like in tune with herself, but also like she's very about her service. She's very unproblematic, and she's also one of those people, she does not take up space.
Got you.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where it's like, these orgs were designed for black people, and even though it's like, no, we do not discriminate, but it's like also when you have non-black people come in these orgs, it's kind of like, okay, it's one of those where I think you got to be like a little bit more careful with them, and it's just like a natural instinct for us to be more careful. Like, what are you really trying?
Especially black women.
Yeah, it's like, what are you really trying to come here for? But it's also just I feel like they also need to know, like, even though we do not discriminate, but these orgs were still created by us for a reason.
Exactly.
So it's a little.
I get you. Kyrie definitely said something. He was just like, well, one of his profiles or his charter members actually was a white man.
Yes.
So he was just like, I see it differently, but it's just, I think it's just how it's being perceived.
Yeah, it's one of those where like, I definitely understand. I understand the perspective of other D9 Greeks who are completely against it.
Gotcha.
And it's just like, for me, because of the fact of, like, one, because my grandpa is one of Kyrie's charter members.
Gotcha.
So they started this, they started that chapter together. So it's like seeing that perspective, and then having my profile, and then also like, I'm not, my mother's not black.
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of like, I get it.
Gotcha.
So.
Keep your mind, Marnay. Keep your mind.
Honestly, my opinions are this, like, I'm not trying to be rude to any other, because in my organization, it's a lot of white people in my organization as well. Not trying to be rude, but I just feel like half the times I feel like these individuals are not allies to people of color, specifically black people, only because I feel like they join organizations to get clout, because they know what type of atmosphere or what type of outlook our organizations bring to people. Right. Because these white organizations, not trying to be funny, y'all don't bring clout to y'all campus. Like, y'all don't really be doing nothing. On NIU campus, I don't see no white organizations, no Greek organizations on my campus that do anything other than party, get drunk, and do this and do that.
Yep.
And it really be the multicultural organizations, and of course the D9, that really be doing all the community service, from what I say. But that's just NIU in my yard. I don't know what anybody else do. And I just feel like, I don't know, like, we created these spaces for black people. Y'all didn't want us in y'all orgs. Why y'all trying to join our organizations? That's just how I feel. Not trying to be, these are not the opinions of Sydney Giver Girls. Exactly. My own opinion. I just want to let y'all want that like to be known. So nobody try to come for me. And I'm gonna brag chapter now, so don't try to come for me.
Exactly. This is just a warning. This is not We're not speaking for our organization. This is our own opinion.
Exactly.
So please don't. Because people on my YouTube channel be coming. They be very.
I say something in the comments. They be trying to come for you.
Shots fired all the time. All the time.
Oh, shit.
I don't even know, but you know.
What shall we think about like how social media portrays them now? Like especially when you
Oh
see
my God.
like how when you especially I feel like lately with white people that have came in our organizations and when they post like certain pictures, they just go viral instantly.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people are so amazed at a white person in a historically black organization. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will have all the information down below so you guys can go and follow them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.